You're looking for a career coach, really any kind of a coach. What are the red flags? So in this video, I'm going to talk about a major red flag. In other words, if this is happening, or actually not happening, which will become more clear in just a moment, if this is not happening, then you may want to think twice about hiring this person or even continuing to talk to this person about potentially working with them as a coach. And this red flag has to do with knowing what the experience of working with this person is going to be like. And I want to break this down for you. But before I do and get into the details of it, just a little bit about my background and why I feel not only qualified, but also why I feel like I'm an expert in this area. So, first of all, for those of you who are new, hi there, folks. I'm Jen Bunk. I am a career coach for technical leaders. So, what I do is I help technical leaders to build your dream careers. I've been doing this for over 10 years at this point. And so I have this perspective of being a coach who has helped hundreds of technical leaders to land their dream jobs, to earn salaries they never thought possible, and do it while they have the experience that they want to have. And so I've seen the results that my clients and the experience that they've got to have during this time working with them. And it's a core piece of my coaching. And it's why I believe my clients have been so successful, and why part of the success is because it's such a match. We're such a fit for each other, me and my clients. And also, I put my money where my mouth is. In other words, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. In other words, I hire coaches for myself. I've invested, gosh, it's six figures over the last 10 years in my own professional development, in my own spiritual development, emotional development, cognitive development. And so I've had the pleasure of working with many coaches, business coaches, sales coaches, spiritual coaches, health coaches, who have been just a fabulous fit for me. And I love you all. You know who you are if you're watching this. If you happen to be, I'm not sure that you would be. I've also had the unfortunate experience of working with some coaches who were not a fit, and I lost some money in the process. So yeah, I have been scammed, unfortunately. But this video isn't necessarily about getting scammed. It's more about on the other side of it. It's like how to find not just a good fit coach for you, whether it's a career coach or any other coach, but like a coach who's like, hell yes fit. Like this is a core piece of what I work with my clients. Like, what's a hell yes fit job for you? Who's a hell yes fit coach for you? That's the level that I love to play in. So the red flag, let's just get right to it. The red flag is that the coach is not sharing and not giving you a sense of what the experience of working with them will be like. What's the experience? The how matters. The how matters. All coaches, or at least most coaches, if they're running a successful business, and not all coaches are running a successful business, by the way. So huge red flag if they're not even talking about like table stakes, which is what they do. What they do is important. In other words, what are the results? What are the outcomes that they can help you achieve? Like that's table stakes now. By the way, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was actually a bonus. It's like, it blows my mind that like coaches who were just talking about, oh, I'm a life coach, let's work together. Okay, great. Here's $10,000. Like that shit was happening. Like I know this. That's not happening anymore because the coaching field, the coaching market has exploded. And when things explode, there is necessary chaos, but also necessary and wonderful things that come out of that as well. But anyway, table stakes right now is that the coach is saying, Here's the outcome I can help you. Here's the success. Here's the results that I can help you create in your life. So for a career coach, like for us, it's I can help you build your dream career. What does that mean? Well, for you, it might mean landing your hell yes job. It might mean getting a promotion that's a hell yes fit for what you want right now. It may mean doing those things while you don't have to, work your butt off 50 plus hours a week. So we're still kind of in the outcome realm there, although we're talking a little bit about the experience. But what I'm talking about is the experience of working with me. Like, what's the experience of working with me along the way? The outcome includes the experience that you're going to have along the way to the outcome, right? So if you're working with a health coach, I'm going to help you lose weight, but I'm going to help you do that without starving. Or if you're working with a relationship coach, I'm going to help you build the best relationship with your partner ever. You're going to love each other at the deepest level, and you're not going to have to sacrifice your me time or whatever it is. I'm not a relationship coach, so I don't know what people don't want to sacrifice. Well, I do, but it's just not my realm. So that's table stakes. And it's a red flag if they're not talking about the outcome plus the experience that you're going to have along the way. What are the results you want? That's why you hire a coach. You want results, and you want to have a specific experience along the way to those results. But what's also a red flag is that the coach does not either explain directly or indirectly through their interactions with you or through their videos, through their writings or whatever it is they're sharing, what the experience is of working with that person. Because the truth of the matter is, I know, and you know this too, you have a choice in career coaches. And actually, and some of you already know this, there are other career coaches for tech leaders out there. There are other career coaches for techies out there. You have a choice, and I'm aware of that. And I don't see it as competition. I see it as there is plenty of love to spread. In other words, there's also plenty of need. There are plenty of technical leaders out there who need help, either with your leadership or your career or your work or some combination. And you want to hire the best person for you. And I want that too. I don't want to work with a terrible fit or even a mediocre meh fit client. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That's not the level that I want to play at. The level that I'm playing at is hell yes. So I know that some of you are going to be a fit, but some of you are simply not. And actually, the vast majority of people who are listening to this right now are probably not a fit to work with me. And that's actually correct. So this is not necessarily about what's it like to work with Jen at the People Stack and what is the experience, although I will explain that by way of example, and that will be useful to some of you. It's really about how do you find the best coach for you? And they're talking about the experience of working with them. And so what does that mean? So first of all, I think that price transparency is important. I used to not think so. This has been something that I've shifted. I used to not reveal the price of working with me. And for a time that felt correct, but that time is no longer. We are living in an age of increasing uncertainty in all realms. And also, like I said, the coaching realm has exploded. And I actually now believe, and this is a shift in my belief from 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that you as the potential clients deserve to know upfront what's the investment so that you can make the best decision. So I'm not going to say that, would I say it? Is it a red flag if the coach isn't telling you how much it is to work with them? It's the how matters. Again, the experience of like, it's not just whether or not it's on their website, like not everybody wants to put it on their website. And I get that, but like, are they being cagey about the pricing? Are they like, no, I don't want to talk about the price yet. Or are they giving these like non-answers? Like, well, I need to talk with you first to determine the price. Or they may be saying, and guilty as charged, I've done this in the past. Well, we have a number of of services available. And I want to talk first so that we can determine what the best fit is for you. But now in the realm of where I believe transparency is queen, well, then tell me what those options are. Send me to a website, right? Like, I trust you as my potential clients to like look and determine, is this in the ballpark of what you want to do? So that's part of like, what's the experience of working together? Because the price, like money has an energy to it. Like money by itself is just kind of neutral. It's money. I don't want to call it just money because money is very important, right? But it's neutral by itself. But the way that it's presented and also the amount and also what's the experience that you're having along with it absolutely plays a role. So knowing the cost, are we talking about $50, $500, or $5,000? It's different. I don't have to tell you that it's different. It's a different experience. When you're working with someone and paying them 50 versus 500 versus 5,000, it's a different experience. What do you want? What's the experience you want to have? What ballpark are you playing in? Those are vastly different ballparks. And I believe that the best coaches know that and don't try to hide the price or minimize or bypass this conversation about pricing. So pricing transparency, huge green flag to me. So it's just something for you to think about. Also, though, do they talk about not just the coach, do they talk about not just their qualifications? Do they talk about how their qualifications overlap with how they coach? Again, the how matters. So again, table stakes is, hi there, I'm Jen Bunk. I have a PhD in industrial organizational psychology, and I've been coaching technical leaders to help them build their dream careers for the past 10 years. You know, and I might also include something like, and I've taken training as a mindset coach, and I'm also familiar with a vast different array of approaches to transformation. And if I were to describe it in a sentence or a phrase, I take a somatic psycho-ontological approach to my coaching, meaning it's mind, body, soul, somatic, psychosomatic, but then I also take an ontological approach. What is the meaning of life? What is my purpose in life? The philosophy of meaning. And I combine all of these approaches together to coach my clients. So that's getting closer, I feel like. And again, guilty as charged. I have not talked enough about this. And so now I'm doing that more. Because I know that this is my unique flavor. Not all coaches take a somatic psycho-ontological approach because not all coaches want to do that. And also not all coaches have the expertise and the experience to combine those in some ways radically different approaches. I mean, we're basically talking about science and soul. We're combining science, the science of psychology, with the woo-woo of soul, but it's not woo-woo in the this absolutely has no grounding and it's not relevant and oh my God, airy fairy dust, stop it with all of it. It's like, no, this is important. Your purpose is important. Why are you here? And that is embedded. Like, why are you here on this planet? What is your soul's purpose? And that is embedded in my coaching. So I believe that my potential clients and current clients deserve to know that this is the approach that I take. And for years, again, I will admit that I didn't delineate that. I didn't just state that up front, partially because I was still figuring it out. What kind of coach do I want to be? But also because, I don't know, I was like, oh, people will figure it out. But it's like, now I want to be even more transparent. Transparency has become my new love language, especially when it comes to being a coach. So it's a red flag if the coach only talks about like the letters after their name or the certifications that you have, that they have. And this is also very similar to how you are marketing yourself or should market yourself on the job market as a technical leader, by the way. The letters after your name and your certifications are not what matter the most. Is there something that's even more basic than table stakes? I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody will tell me in the comments. But yeah, that's required. You need to sit down at the table, right? You need to have some qualifications. You need to have something. It's like, hi there, I want to help you with your build your dream career. Oh, what qualifications did you have? Do you have? Oh, none. It's like you're not even at the table. So, but then beyond that, like, what's the experience? Here's another way to describe it, in terms of you're at the table, here's the table stakes, and then here's going above and beyond. So you're not even at the table if you don't talk about, like, what are the modalities of coaching? So if they're not willing to tell you whether it's, for example, one-on-one or group, or whatever it might be, they're not even at the table. They're not willing to tell you at least a little bit about the basics of how they coach. Like for us, we use a combination of modalities. And it is true. We have a variety of different products and services available. And our top tier products, so our premium offerings, have all of them. What are all of them? So yes, one-on-one coaching, private coaching. Yes, group coaching. It's super, super powerful. Those of you who've experienced know exactly what I'm talking about. So group coaching would basically be me and Rob, my husband and co-CEO, in a room with 3, 5, 10 clients. And we are leading this group and we are there together. So that's group coaching. And it usually happens on Zoom, by the way, just for those of you who are like not familiar with this and like, how would you do this? We're Brady Bunch style on Zoom and in person whenever we can. And then also video modules, so trainings. So they might be videos, they also might be audio recordings. And then you also might have asynchronous coaching, right? So this would be like coaching over like WhatsApp or like text message or things like that, where it's not happening in real time, but we can message back and forth, or Slack messages. We do that. Let me see, what else am I missing? Is there anything that I'm missing? One-on-one group videos, asynchronous, help tickets. Those would be like asynchronous support. Yeah, I think that covers it in terms of like what we would use. And then there's a variety of other different modalities as well. That's like, okay, I'm at the table. In other words, okay, that is what I would expect. Table stakes is then like, what do you do? Like, what kind of questions do you ask? Like, what can I expect of you during these one-on-ones, during these group coaching sessions, right? So like for us, you can expect that I will ask you tough questions that you've never asked yourself before. You will expect that I expect you to be committed and for you to realize that ultimately I'm not responsible for your career, you are. And I take an approach where it's I'm the mirror. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to direct you. I'm not here to have a transaction. I'm here to have a transformational mirror to mirror experience where I ask you questions for you to see the possibility in your career. And that's what's going to happen. So that I would call table stakes. Because not everybody does it that way. Some people take a more transactive approach, not necessarily wrong, although I think that would be transactional approach. I think that would be potentially a red flag, but they're not even talking about it. And then the above and beyond would be, again, it's more about like, what's my style? What's my flavor? And there's lots of different ways that a coach like myself can show that. I'm doing that in this video, by the way. So if you have, that's why YouTube is such a powerful platform for coaches, because in watching this video what I'm about. You know who I am. And Is it a done deal that I'm going to show up exactly this way in this blue shirt for, with wearing with this hat in this mood and this disposition to coaching calls? No. But what I can tell you is that this is who I am. I'm not a different person when I'm coaching and or when I'm teaching or when I'm explaining something. So you also get a sense of how do I explain things? So I hope that also what you're picking up, for those of you who are wondering, it's like, what is it like to work with Jen? I love nuance. I also love transparency. And I love diving deep. And I love holding that bar of soap loosely. Like I love paradox and holding it loosely. And I'm not just going to let one statement go if it's actually not the full truth. And I'm going to give as many examples as I can to help you really, truly grok it. Because for me as a coach, I want to create and transmit and communicate, and I want you to perceive and receive it. Even though I'm talking to my computer right now, I know that this is going to get uploaded to YouTube, and it's no fun for me if I just put it out there and it's like crickets. Although sometimes I get, that it's crickets. But even if there's no engagement on the video, I know that I've put something out there that if you're truly listening to this and you're here with me and you're receiving it, and then you're going to take it and you're going to make it your own. It's like two souls playing with one another. Oh, wow, this is so cool. And we are literally expanding knowledge right now. Like if you're sitting here listening to me and you're truly paying attention and you're here with me, we are expanding knowledge right now. That's what's fun for me. So it's stuff like that. It's explaining that. That's like, oh, wow, huge green flag. That's the experience of working with Jen. That's the experience of working with this coach. And you can get it through watching their videos, through reading their posts. Like, what are they about? What are their values? How do they coach people? It's going to take a little bit of time because we need to get client permission. But one of the things that I'm more open to recently is sharing client interactions, sharing videos of client interactions so that you can be in the room with us. But of course, we talk about some private stuff on calls, on coaching calls. So we need to be very careful with it. And there may be some editing and of course, some obtaining permission from clients. But like, that's also a great way. But what's it like? What's the experience going to be like working with this person? Are they just going to ask you questions and give you a blank stare and just go through their list? And it just kind of is like a meh experience? Or is it going to be more of a dialogue? And what's the dialogue? And what kinds of questions are they going to ask you? And are the questions that they're going to ask you actually activate you and encourage you to expand and encourage you to move toward what you want? The experience matters. The how matters. Yes, the outcome matters, but so does how you get there. The outcome matters, but so does the process. We're living in a time right now that this is like, yes, the process matters. How we do it matters. So be mindful of that. Pay attention to that when you're considering hiring a coach, really working with anyone, inviting anyone into your life. They may be able to help you get a particular outcome, but is it going to be with the experience that you want? You deserve to have the best, most abundant, joy-filled, light-filled, laughter-filled experience, and whatever kind of experience that you want. You totally deserve it. That's what I'm about. So, yeah, I believe that's all I have to say, at least at this point. At this now point. In the larger now, I believe I will have more to say around not just who I am as a coach, but also other red flags to help you find the best person for you. And of course, as always, how do you build your dream tech career? And what's the experience you want to have along the way? That's what I am devoted to being even more transparent about. in the future. Take care.